everyone, welcome back to Bobby and Cici. So it is Cici here today, and I know it's been a hot minute since you have seen me make a video by myself. So I have some explanations for that. I got this camera from Bobby, it's her old camera, and I am technologically impaired. I don't really use cameras, I'm not great with technology just to start with. So this is a little bit new for me trying to learn this, and I've had to delete like 3 videos now because the camera just doesn't want to focus. It's a good time. So hopefully I have this set up correctly today. The other reason why I have kind of been MIA for just videos by myself is because I just graduated school. So if you haven't been to our channel at all, or like right at the beginning when I talked about this, I was in cosmetology school to do hair pretty much, and I literally just graduated like 3 days ago. So yay me that I'm finally done with that, but it was really stressful and taking up a lot of my time. So that is why I also haven't been posting anything, because that was my #1 priority, not necessarily this whole thing. So those are my excuses, if you will call them that, for not posting anything by myself. With that being said, I just kind of wanted to play with makeup today. I don't know, I haven't really been buying a whole lot of new makeup, and it's been kind of tight budget-wise, so I haven't been able to have the luxury of buying a lot of new makeup. So I figured I do have a little bit stockpiled now, maybe we can play with that today. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe, like the video, stick around if you just want to see me mess around. We talk about some stuff and try out some new things. So the primer I'm going to be going in with today is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So this is something that I've really maybe only used like 2 or 3 other times personally on myself. I've used it on other people, but I haven't really used it on myself. But I thought I'd go in with it today because even though I am more on the oily side, the foundation that I'm going in with later is a lot more mattifying than I even want for my oily skin, so I thought this would be a good one to put underneath it to try it out. So we're going to put this guy on. I just used a little bit. I'll just press that in. I do really like the smell of this guy. It's very fruity, like citrusy, I should say. Not necessarily just like fruit, but citrus in particular. But normally on any other day, if I wasn't using something super matte, that is almost just a little bit too hydrating for me, so it'd probably be better if you're normal to dry as opposed to oily like I am. Also, sorry if I am reaching into the corner. This setup, man, let me tell you about it. I am sitting on my rollout ottoman from my living room with a kitchen chair in front of me with my microphone on it, and then my stand for all my makeup is literally like one little makeup thing, like a makeup organizer that I have divided up with all my stuff on top, and then my tray of brushes sitting on my ottoman with me. So not the most professional thing, so if I'm leaning over, you know why now. The foundation that I am going to be going in with is actually the newest Nars foundation. It is the Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I have the color Duville, or Light 4, if that's not the way you pronounce it, I apologize. It is, excuse me, I'm gonna peel off this thing. It is the closest shade match that they have to me. Gobi would be also kind of close, but it's just a little bit too light. So I have used, again, I've used all of these products at least like once, but they're still relatively new to me that I'm still like playing around with them. This guy I have found is extremely matte, which, I mean, doesn't surprise me, but it did surprise me a little bit more than I thought. And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to take a little bit of this guy on the back of my hand. That was probably too much, but you know, it's fine. Alright, and we will just start going for it. So, as I was saying earlier, I just finished beauty school, which for me was kind of a special situation this time around, because if you guys have not been here for this story yet, I'll tell it to you real briefly. So, when I first graduated high school, like 4 or 5 years ago now, God Jesus, 5 years, that is a long time. So, when I graduated high school, about 5 years ago, give or take, I immediately went to beauty school. Like right after that, like I was fresh out the gate going to beauty school because that's what I wanted to do. I knew that it was something that I've always really been interested in, like hair and makeup. Well, not necessarily makeup. I got more into makeup as school kept going, but especially like hair, styling people's hair, stuff of that nature. I was really into it in high school. So I'm like, oh, perfect. This is a great opportunity for me. Let me go do this. Well, as you can tell, I didn't finish because I'm finishing now, just based off of some personal stuff that was going on. So I had, back at the time, you needed a lot more hours than you do now. So I needed upwards of like 2,000 hours back then. And I made it, I would say, a good 3/4 of the way through school. And then all that happened, and I unfortunately I dropped out. So I have been in beauty school for the last 6 months, working towards finishing and becoming a cosmetologist. If you have not heard that story, now you have been told. And our foundation is all the way on. So I took a good squirt of that. It was probably about yay large. Got it all over my face. Like I was saying, this Nars foundation has really, really good coverage to it. So you don't need a lot. If you are more of like a medium to like lighter coverage person, I would maybe try to mix it in with like a beauty oil, or if you're even, like I was saying, more on the normal to dry side, it would probably really, really dry you out without a lot of hydration. So just be wary of that if you want to use it. Otherwise, it's a really pretty foundation. I have a lot of texture to my skin. I have very textured skin because I am oily and because I used to have a lot of acne. And it doesn't accentuate any of that texture, but it also doesn't like blur it by any means. So if you are looking for a foundation that's going to help blur texture, this is probably not the one, but it doesn't enhance it either. So take that with what you will. I have no new concealers or anything, so I'm probably just going to skip through that step and we can come back in a minute. Okay, so I have put on my concealer and my powder off of camera because they aren't exciting. They're the ones I use all the time. We are going to get into some face products though, because I do have, it's underneath everything, excuse me. So if you guys remember our BoxyCharm, I got this Nesting Bitch Face palette from Pretty Vulgar and I'm really excited. I've used this guy literally one time. I really enjoyed the bronzer, so I'm excited to put it back on my face today. So what I'm going to be using, the names in here, by the way, are hecka cute. The one that I used was Son of AB, which is the bronzer shade. I would show you these, but I have a feeling they're gonna get like blurry. So this is the bronzer shade that I was using. And then I kind of switched between the two blushes. It just kind of depends. I'll probably use both of them today because I think they're really pretty. But we're just gonna go in with that bronzer. And it is a very light shade of bronzer, so you can be a little bit heavier with it without being a crazy person. I'm trying to think of anything interesting that's happened other than graduating in the last like month. I don't know. It's been kind of weird because as of right now, I don't have a job. I'm hopefully trying to get a job here in the near future since I am now graduated, but I have to take my test first, which if you guys don't know, just there is like a test for those sorts of things so that you can get your license, just to make sure that they know that you're following the rules and you know the rules and that you're going to be sanitary and stuff like that. So I have to take that test before I actually get my license and I'm able to work anywhere. Yeah, other than that, it's been kind of weird because Corona, the virus, Miss Rona, whatever you want to call her, has been ever prevalent where we live, so it's kind of not been super accessible to go hang out with friends or anything like that. Like we've been trying to chill out on that just because of everything going on, and like I don't want to expose anybody to that, and I know that none of the people I know want to expose each other to that, so we've been kind of just keeping on the DL with the doing things and the social event sort of thing. I will say though, this is not like a social event, but it's just been something that's been occupying my world for like the last month, and I'm pretty sure it's been occupying anybody else who has any sort of desire to watch people play video games, because I really enjoy that. Everybody knows about Among Us, right? Like that game has been literally consuming my free time. Not playing, which I want to play, but I'm afraid to play on the phone because I don't think I'm going to be any good. But, oh my gosh, it's so fun to watch people play that game. Like, it's just so good, and like, it sucked me into the world of sus and all of that good stuff. So that has been a lot of my time, is just watching streamers stream that. As well as Phasmophobia. If you guys have not seen that game either, I would check it out if you're kind of into like the spooky season of things and don't want the spook to be leaving, because unfortunately Halloween has left us and is no longer here. We have to wait a whole nother year for her. But if you want like a good little like spook watching other people play some scary games, Phasmophobia has been a really, really fun one to watch, as well as Among Us. So that has kind of been consuming most of my other free time when I do have it. Okay, bronzer's on. We'll take some blush. We'll go into Hush Blush. That one is the not shimmery, so this one, this top one. She's cute. I just scraped my finger through that whole entire thing. Bronzer, whatever. It's fine. It still works. And we'll put on some blush. This blush is so pretty. It's nice and like subtle. By the way, I am going now into that other kind of shimmerier color as like a blush topper situation. And she's real cute. This one I might also sweep a little bit over the temples just to add some color here too. And maybe just a tiny bit. I'm not normally a person for blush on the nose, but you wanna know what? Why not? It's not gonna hurt anybody. Sometimes it's fun to do stuff that you don't normally do, you know what I mean? Okay, blush is on. I'm kind of afraid to use the highlighter, to be perfectly honest with you, because I used it the other day, and so you'd think that this like Glimmers of BS would be not as like as frosty, but it is really frosty. So I think I'm gonna skip that for today, if you guys don't mind, just because it just doesn't sit well on my skin tone, and unfortunately this other guy right here is just too dark for me, but would be beautiful on someone else. So I'm gonna pass on those in this, but otherwise I really, really like this palette. I've been enjoying it the past couple times I've used it. So I'm gonna step off, do my brows off camera too, because I literally just put brow powder in them. It's not that exciting, and then I will be back with you in a moment. Okay, friends, so we are back. I got my brows on. They have seen better days, but this is just what we got, and it's not like I'm going anywhere, so it doesn't matter. We are going to prime the eyelids because we are going to go in with some eyeshadow, and I have two different palettes here. I'm going to hopefully use a little bit of both. I have the Chocolates by Juvia's Place, and I also have the Master Metals palette by Mario, which both of these, again, I have used both of these. I will say though, the Mario's one, I've only used two colors. I swatched them all because I am impatient, and they're so freaking pretty. Like, so freaking pretty. But I've only used the coppery, not even the copper, the more bronze shade. I haven't really dipped into any of the other ones. And this palette too, oh, so pretty. This is my whole life in an eyeshadow palette. I freaking love brown. I don't know if you've heard this, but like, freaking love brown. So like this, my whole life. And there's also a really pretty mustard in here that we're gonna use. It goes absolutely not at all with my shirt. I look like your uncle from the 70s, but like, I don't care. So I'm gonna prime my eyelids real quick. I will say the one thing about the Juvia's Place palette is that it has no mirror, which I don't like, but you know, it's fine. It's not like the end of the world. This Mario one has a mirror, so that's what we are going to use. Okay, she is whacked on. And I think the first shade I'm going to go in with from this Juvia's Place palette is this beautiful mustard color down here on the bottom. I created a look with this the other day, and this is really the only color that worked for me for a transition. So we're just gonna use that again today. We're just really gonna get her on there with like a fluffier brush. Just so you know, this isn't really like gonna be a great tutorial time. I still don't really know how to zoom in. I'll try to zoom in, I don't know how well it's gonna work. We'll try. But I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff with this camera yet, so hopefully you can see what is going on. I feel like nowadays, though, there's a tutorial for everything on the internet, so if this is not necessarily the one, I think it'll be okay. We maybe find another one that would be similar. I will say, these Juvia Place shadows are beautiful. I have a couple different palettes from them. I have a green one. Bobby gave it to me. I'm trying to think of what the name of it is, but I can't off the top of my head. I will insert it if I can figure out which one it was. And then I've also used, it's not a coral palette, but I think that packaging on the outside is coral with like blue or something on the inside. I have that one as well, and it's super pretty. Again, I'll put pictures up if I can remember, or like the names. But the quality is very high considering the price point, which I really like. I don't know, I was shopping in Ulta and I saw their whole like chocolates collection, and spoiler to later on for lips, I bought 2 of the lipsticks because they're just so freaking pretty and brown and beautiful that I needed to also buy those because why not? Even though we can't wear really any lipsticks in this situation in life, doesn't mean I can't buy 3,000 of them and hope to wear them later. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been on such a lipstick kick, even though I literally am not wearing them anywhere. Okay. We got that really pretty yellow down. I don't even know if you can see it. If you can, fantastic. If you can't, sorry. I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush here, and I'm going to dip into the shade, ooh, Jesus Christ, let's not drop Mario on the ground, he was expensive. Anyway, I'm going to take this one. I apologize, these probably have shade names, but they're not on the front, so like, I hope pointing to them is enough. But we are going to take the warmer brown color in the palette, take a little bit of her, and pop that in the, oh shoot, that was too much. Okay, so now I feel like I've built up that shade enough. I'm going to go in with, to be perfectly honest, there's not a huge difference between this color and this color. One is a little bit warmer than the other one is, but they're almost the exact same color, so I'm just gonna pick one of them. We're gonna really go in there and smoke her out. All right. Cool. Now that we have it all extremely, extremely dark, I think what I'm going to do is we'll use the Mario ones, I think. So this is her. She is so, so pretty. I love it. And I think I'm going to go, honestly, with these two, like the coppery one and also the, what is it called? Bronze? The bronzy one? Should I use one of these first? Maybe I'll use one of these first. I think I'm gonna go in with this just to lay down a base color for like that darker outer corner, and then we'll go in with the lighter one. Oh, so pretty. It's like a blackened, bronzy, just beautiful color. Juvia makes such good shimmers. This is such a pretty color. I do suggest using them with your finger though, because they are very oily, like oil based, so they tend to pick up better with your finger since they just feel so wet immediately upon touching it. Then we will go into the Mario one, and I'm pretty sure, let's use like the bright orangey copper one, shall we? Why not? Ooh. She is bright. Bright, bright, bright. Let me get my little baby brush. Woo! Maybe not. Okay, let's try that again. Let me get my baby brush. Just to get closer to that inner corner. Okay, hello and welcome back. So as you can see, I left you looking a lot different than I do right now. That is because my camera died. So I have finished my lower lash line, put on mascara and things, and also have a lip liner on because the last thing I have today is some lipsticks from Juvia's Place, like I was saying earlier. So I have two from the chocolate line, so it matches the palette that I got. I have Toffee and Cocoa, which are the two darker shades. I think Toffee is going to be the one I put on today, but I'll swatch both of them for you. So Toffee is a lot more like camel colored, where Cocoa is like a dark, rich, plummy brown. So as you can see, those are the colors there. So I think I'm going to be going for Toffee, which is the slightly lighter one right there on the top. So these are supposed to be more of like a matte bullet lipstick formula, so we will see, which is why I already lip lined, because outlining with this I don't think is going to go super well. It's a very pretty color. I like this color a lot. It's a lot more like red-y, like burnt orange red on the lip, but it's super pretty, very fall. The formula feels like the Huda Beauty lipsticks. If you've ever tried her just bullet lipsticks, feels a lot like that, which they're not my favorite formula ever, the Huda Beauty ones, but this one is definitely a lot more slippery, like a lot more silicone-y feeling, so maybe this one will be a little bit nicer than the Huda Beauty. But overall, color is beautiful. I like it a lot. Like, this is right up my alley for lip color. This is what I always wear, so I'm happy with that. The last thing I have today is another thing from my BoxyCharm. It is the Maracuja Miracle Mist by Tarte, so might as well just set my face with this guy, and then I think we will be done for today. It feels nice and refreshing. Nice and cool. It's very hot in here under these lights. So let us recap, shall we? We had the Nars foundation. I really like this foundation. Like I said, it doesn't take away from texture, but it also doesn't emphasize texture. So if you're looking for a full coverage matte foundation, really nice. From the other times I've worn it with a mask, it stays on really well. So if you want good longevity, I have a feeling this would be your guy. What is next? The Nesting Bitch Face. I love that palette. I think the aesthetic is so adorable. And I think the colors in it are super pretty. The highlights, I would say, maybe need to be, they're just not for my personal liking or skin tone. I think the one is a little bit too frosty for me. The other one's just a tiny bit too dark. So if there was, maybe I can mix them together, use them together, and it would be better. But otherwise, the other colors in there are great. The other bronzer that I didn't use, I've used one other time, and it's good for deepening if you like that sort of thing. So 10 out of 10, would highly recommend for packaging and quality. The eyeshadow palettes, I really like the Juvia's Place one. I want really badly, they have a taupe one. I really want the taupe, or is it I think it's the taupe one. They have their capsule palettes, and I got the chocolate. I would love the taupe one to go with the chocolate, because I knew buying it that it wasn't meant necessarily to be tailored towards my skin tone, but I love those deeper tones, and if I could just have a companion to pair with it, I'd be super pleased. But obviously, formula, fantastic, really liked it. Blended great. I think the last thing then, it would be the Mario palette. I want to try it with the mixing medium, because they're very, very pretty by themselves, but I don't know, I just it just kind of looks like every other shimmer, so maybe the mixing medium kicks it up a bit. Let me know if you are interested in wanting watch me use it with the mixing medium, because I didn't, but I do have it. So if you're interested, please let me know. I would love to do a video trying out all the shades and maybe mixing some together and creating our own colors. That'd be kind of fun. So other than that, I think we just have lipsticks, which right now feels really comfortable. It definitely is a matte lip. You can feel the matteness. So if you're not a matte lip person, I would suggest maybe putting a gloss over top or just skipping it all together. But like I was saying, these colors, so up my alley. If you don't like the browns, they do have, I think, a pink and just a nude collection too. So if you don't want the chocolates, you can just get other colors if you want the formula, but don't want these particular colors. With that being said, I think that is all our new stuff. Thanks for coming and chatting with me about some random stuff there in the beginning, and then sticking around for the makeup afterwards. I've missed sitting down and making videos, but it's been kind of hard lately, so if you stayed through the whole thing, thank you, I appreciate it. Do not forget to subscribe and comment if you enjoyed this type of content. Also, I didn't say, I know it's blurry in the background there, Again, we are doing a giveaway when we get to 100 subscribers. So do not forget to subscribe and follow our other Instagrams that I'll be linked down below for you to go check out. All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye. All right. Yeetleet. Goodbye. Forgot my powder. Am I even in focus? Really hope I've been in focus this entire time. I'm gonna be so pissed off.